In this episode,
You are such a good mother. You are not the mother I was. She said, you did everything different than what I did, and you did everything for your kids. I'm going to predict in front of 11 million people that the two of you are ending up getting married. All right, so, she had a miscarriage. Do you know about this? Yes. So she's with the one she lost, is what she's saying too. So she looks after the kids. He kind of surprised himself by the suicide. It was like he was planning another time. So I see a gun. I shot myself. He just wants you to understand that that wasn't how it was supposed to go down. Ever since I was little, I had a strange and uncanny ability to know things about people. But when I was 19, I was the victim of violence, and I had a really strange out-of-body experience. The worst day of my life became the best day because it left me with an ability to help others in a really deep and meaningful way. I'm able to connect and communicate and share messages from our loved ones who've passed on and are part of spirit now. And it's all about hope, healing, forgiveness, and most of all, love. I'm Colette Baron-Reid, and I'm here to share messages from spirit. Oh my God! This would be, you're from Jamaica? Your mother had stomach cancer? This would be a woman. Is this your daughter?
That's my daughter.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. You were raised, this is definitely your mother then. She's very sorry. She stopped you from having a voice. You understand this, right? She's saying, I silenced you. I silenced you when you tried to tell me things. Yes. And I didn't believe you because I didn't want to. Yes. You understand this, right? Yes. So you tried to tell her about some abuse that happened to you when you were a kid. Yes. And she refused to believe it. And she knows now this was the biggest mistake of her life. That she silenced you and told you that it was that to be quiet so that she didn't have to deal with the things that she was so ashamed of and she didn't want them to be true. You understand this?
Yes, I do.
And she wants so badly to apologize to you for this. She didn't protect you. She never protected you. And even though that you got along with her later in life, for a bit, because she's saying there was a period of time, correct? There was a
small moment in time.
Small. Remember that one moment of peace you had with her. She said, I was never in peace. I hated. She said, I was driven by hate. Not towards you, but towards other people.
Oh, okay.
You understand this, right?
I understand.
Yeah, that's why she silenced you. That's why she was like, shut herself off, because she too had been through abuse. You understand this, right? So get the, yes. So those moments that you had together was the woman when she let herself be seen herself, right? So she was trying to protect you, and she couldn't. So the only way she could was to silence you, and that was wrong. It's really important that you hear that, because that's a story that you've held for a long, long time. She is so proud of the way that you have raised her. You are such a good mother. You are not the mother I was. She said, you did everything different than what I did, and you did everything for your kids. And she said, you sacrificed your own relationship for those kids, and you did the right thing, and everything that you have done, she is acknowledging. She has acknowledged what kind of a mother that you are, and you had nobody to teach you how to do that. You did that all by yourself.
Thank you.
And she never told you that in life, and she's telling you that now. Why is she picking up hairdressing?
Because I'm always trying to get her to cut her hair.
Right, to pointing at her, right? Yeah. Yes, because your mom is pointing at her, talking about the hairdresser. Okay. You know, just leave her alone. Let her have her hair. At least it's not pink. So
This week.
This week, yeah. Well, she is mentioning your hair, right?
Yeah.
Do you work at all in the arts, or have you been wanting to and you don't?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing that she's saying, is that you're two things. You have raised her to find her own security, which is good, very good. So yet, don't silence her art, right? She's a little bit weird compared to what you expected. Okay? All right? She's not what you expected, this one here. And she needs to be able to express herself, otherwise she'll be rebellious. And she doesn't want to be. She just wants to be loved, this one here. She's just a squishy, adorable daughter. But she is a little odd, and you got to let her be odd, okay? Like a bank teller job is not going to be for her. You understand that, right? So just you be you, because even though you mean well, there's a little kernel of what your mom did to you in that. So just let her be. Let her have pink, blue, whatever hair she wants to have, because it's her artistry and her need to be independent and different is what's going to give her her freedom. And your mom really loves you.
Oh, I know. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I remember having one big blowout with her, a big argument where I basically told her, had you taken care of me properly, had you done the responsible thing, that, I would not have ended up being, abused the way that I was. And I didn't want that for my children. So I raised my children very much differently. The nurses in the hospital would always tell me, oh, your mother loves you so much. And I said, how do you know that? And she goes, but she's telling us, she's telling us you're the greatest daughter on the face of the earth, and you've always taken care of her, and you're the very best. And I always said, at the very least, you could have told me you loved me before you departed. So I guess that was my one moment, that my validation that she really, 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 truly loved me.
Up next, marital advice from the other side.
I'm going to predict in front of 11 million people that the two of you are ending up getting married. All right, so.
In this reading, Grandfather Richard comes through.
One of you is still not finished with another relationship. Is this correct, or are you one of you?
There is a. My ex isn't finished, but I'm finished.
I think I'm connecting to your grandfather. Yes, good. Okay, so I want to say this. Let me say this about that, right? So I'm going to predict in front of 11 million people that the two of you are ending up getting married. All right, so. Because I also got that you're scared because you chose somebody who is very possessive and very controlling, and it's not his fault. We don't want to fault him, but he doesn't know how to let go, right? So I feel that that's still there. That's still part of that, and you're scared because this guy is really solid, very together, would wait forever for you. Okay, let's not wait too long. You are scared of hurting people, and you're a little afraid of your partner, of your ex-partner, because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And it was a good relationship for you to do at the time, right? So, but you both will be happier. I know you'll be happier, but your partner, your ex-husband, will be much happier with somebody else. And he just doesn't see that now because he feels so bad, right? So you have to have a little more compassion for him, even though you're like, go away. Right? But there really needs to be a healing there. But this is your guy, and don't second guess him at all. Okay. And the father figure that I'm picking up really likes him.
Oh, I'm not surprised you heard from him for 1 second.
Don't be so wishy-washy. Okay? You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. That's cool. That was easy.
And he would want to embarrass you like that, okay? Because he's that kind of guy.
Coming up, Lindsay connects to her mother.
She got very angry, and she wants to apologize to both of you because she was so mean to both of you, and she would just flip out, and that wasn't her, and like it was like she had anger Tourette's.
Yeah.
Right. Like
she
there
was
she
very,
was.
Yeah, she was mean.
In this reading, Lindsay connects to her mother.
I have somebody who died of a brain tumor, and typically I don't get brain tumors. Is this your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. She died pretty quickly after
Yes.
being diagnosed, correct? So she says, I totally know this is her. And my mother died of a brain tumor, so typically I don't connect with brain tumors, but she came through really loud because that would be her, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay. So she's sorry for leaving so quick. Yeah. And she didn't have enough time, and she wanted to see the flowers, and she couldn't see the flowers.
She loved flowers.
Yeah, so
Her garden.
Yes, so she wants you to take care of them for her, and like plant something on her behalf. So, but you apparently did something with the flowers.
My husband did a garden for her when
right.
she got sick, because she loved, that was her.
A small one, right? It was a small one.
Yeah.
And she never
Now it's bigger, but it was, yeah.
She didn't get a chance to tell you a lot of the stuff she wanted to at the end because the medication that they gave her really screwed her up, is basically what she's saying. So
Yeah.
she got very angry, and she wants to apologize to both of you because she was so mean to both of you, and she would just flip out, and that wasn't her, and like it was like she had anger Tourette's.
Yeah.
Right? Like
She
there
was
she
very,
was.
Yeah, she was mean.
Yeah,
In the end,
in the end, and she
Yeah.
wants you to know that it was the medication,
knew
and she
that,
didn't
yeah.
mean a word she said to either one of you.
I
She
knew
would-
that, yeah.
Yeah,
We knew.
she insulted you apparently. You are her sister?
Yes.
Yes, she said she insulted you when you were trying to be kind to her or whatever, and she was just
Yes.
really, really nasty.
Yes.
She just wants to apologize. She believes she was a good mother,
She
and
was
she said she wanted to raise you with a lot of love, and you put her in a suit. Is this correct? You put her in a suit when she was, yes, she said good choice.
Yeah,
of suit.
yeah, it was her,
That was my
yeah.
favorite suit, good
Yeah,
choice.
yeah, yeah.
Except the shoes didn't match.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I can't remember.
And that would be her, right? That would be her. My
Yeah.
shoes didn't match.
That would be her.
That would be her.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have 2 kids, is this correct?
3.
Does one,
She doesn't know one.
she doesn't know one, right? She knew 2, right? So the 2 kids were still young when she passed, right? She's showing me they were little kids, right? And is this latest child like very, very cherubic, like an angel, little cherubic angel? Yes, because she's calling this the latest. And there was another one that's missing. She's showing one that's missing. She had a miscarriage. Do you know
she
about
did.
this? Yes.
Yes, she did.
So she's with the one she lost,
God.
is what she's saying too. So she looks after the kid. Is your husband changing his work right now?
He just changed. Yeah.
Just changed.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
She said things will stabilize
Yeah.
now for you because
Yeah.
you've been
Oh
feeling a
my
little
God.
cuckoo.
Yeah.
And said that you're allergic to feeling insecure.
God.
So and she said she likes your husband
Yeah.
because he is honest.
Yes.
Right. And the other ones
That's my
before were
husband.
never honest. And she
Yeah.
likes his. You can be hurt by his directness sometimes. So you're
them.
like a really mushy person.
Yes.
And
that's
just said
exactly.
just.
My husband's
grin it-
always honest.
Yes,
Yeah.
grin and bear it.
Yes,
It'll do. It'll.
yes,
Yes, you have a
yes.
lifetime. She just says to just remember me with my flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Remember me, both of you. Remember me when you all went away together, or you all went somewhere together for dinner together. Just the group of you. There was 4 women. Do you know what we're talking
Oh
about?
my God, her girlfriends. Her and her girlfriends go away every year. There's
Right.
4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
her and her
Right.
friends.
Yeah. And those fun times
Yeah.
and those things, yeah, that's the mother she wants you to remember, and you are doing for your kids what she wished because you and her didn't have that parenting.
Not amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. My mom, before she had my sister, who was older than me, so her first child, she had a miscarriage. And Colette mentioned that she had a miscarriage and she was with that child. So it was a girl, I think she mentioned it was. So it was pretty neat that I have a sister. I have another sister, so, which is pretty neat. I want to talk to her again. Like, it's unbelievable. But I feel great. It's what I needed, I think. It's something I wanted for a long time, and I'm glad she came through.
So when I tune in, I have to translate what I pick up. So, for example, I will get feelings in my body and I'll get pictures or memories in my head. So, diseases, for example, can look alike, like Lou Gehrig's or ALS will look like Parkinson's. And then when two people come through at the same time, I can't separate them that well until they start giving me more and more differentiators. Being able to separate them is hard for me sometimes. That's why I keep asking, like, does this make sense? And does this other thing make sense? And so in my head, I'm asking them over on that side to say, like, give me some more information. So sometimes you'll notice me going like, okay. And then we finally separate them. But it is a really interesting phenomena when I tune into the other side, when I have like a lineup or a traffic jam, because that's what it feels like to me is I have a traffic jam in my head. And they kind of are like transparent overlays or overlapping. So it's an interesting phenomena. I thought it'd be interesting for you to know what it's like for a medium to actually tune in. And we're not all the same either. So I have a very specific way of doing this.
In the last reading, Brody connects to his best friend.
Didn't understand a lot of other secrets that he had. And he's at peace. And even though you miss him, he's always around you, always.
In this reading, Brody connects to his best friend.
Brenda, Brendan? Yes. Brendan could
Brody.
be. Say that again.
Brendan or Brody.
Is this a suicide? Yes.
The one that committed suicide for me, his name was Brody.
Brody. Okay, it's a BR. It's definitely a suicide. So this was a school friend of yours?
My best friend.
Your best friend, I say. So here's what's so interesting. He's saying he was sorry that he left you the way he did. You tried to help him prior to that, so you didn't know what to do with him. Yes, because he says, I was sick for a while. I was sick for a while, and you kept a secret for him. And he said, because you're such a trustworthy guy, and you kept all his secrets, and it's okay because you feel guilty that you should have told somebody something, and you cannot feel guilty. He was going to do it anyway. So never feel guilty that you might have prevented this. Do you understand? Yeah. Yes. This is a boy that's really, really, really talking to you about the secrets and that you feel guilty about this. And is this correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So don't. And military keeps coming up around. Military. Could this be your grandfather? This is your mom, right?
Yeah.
Right. Do you have a grandfather that was in the military?
I do.
Is this correct? Okay, so he's coming through now then? Your grandfather is very proud of him, and that you're a solid guy. Does that make sense about your son, right? So, and are you a Taurus, like a birthdate in May, or is this right?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so I know you wouldn't know what a Taurus is, but you are one, okay? So yes, because your friend is sorry he's gonna miss your birthday because apparently your birthdays were fun. You guys did stuff together, and he'd egg you on. He's saying he'd always egg you on and like do stuff to you that was like really rude. And so you're gonna miss that because he was such a, right? And your grandfather is watching over your friend. This has gotta be Brody. And did you call him something else besides Brody?
I called him by his last name.
Right, okay, so, did you yell at him at his grave or at his? You did, right? He says, he's showing me you yelling about it. You were right. He says, I was stupid. All those things you said about him at my grave. He was right there beside you, and he just couldn't take it anymore. You didn't know what was going on in his family. You didn't understand a lot of other secrets that he had, and he's at peace. And even though you miss him, he's always around you. Always. There was a lot of stuff that he didn't allow because he wasn't actually planning on doing it when he did it. He was going to do it another time, and then he did it anyway. So he kind of surprised himself by the suicide. It was like he was planning another time. So I see a gun. I shot myself, and I was, yes. So that was kind of accident. He just wants you to understand that wasn't how it was supposed to go down. And, but he loves you. He loves you. And he's really sorry. Thank you.
I went there one night when I was really upset, and I was just yelling at him, basically asking him why he would do this and why he'd leave. me and everybody else, his parents, and just I see how much I'm hurting, and then I see them and they're hurting a lot more than I am, and I was just mad at him, so I was yelling at him. Because of this show today, I've forgiven him, and I didn't think before that I was going to be able to, but now, after that reading, I can forgive him.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Colette Baron-Reid, and this was Messages from Spirit. Until next time.
The one for the little boy that came through with a suicide, I think that those type of messages are incredible for people to heal. It's definitely what Spirit wanted to give for that child. He needed, they're young, so I really think that Spirit coming through in that way is very beneficial to him, and I think that it kind of hits home for everyone, so she did a great job.
The suicide of the friend, it was only 2 months ago. You could see the emotion. I cried along with them. It was amazing, and that she could bring that closure to him to say he was going to do it anyway. I think that boy will walk away a new person.
The boy that had committed suicide, I think it touched a lot of people in there, and I think people need closure like that. I think they really need to know about what's going on the other side there. Their loved ones are okay.
Oh, it's real. It's another dimension. It's absolutely out there. Yeah, we need to embrace it.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's more than I imagined it would be. It's just been absolutely fabulous. It's inspiring. It's uplifting. It's terrific.
My beliefs, I'm wide open to Spirit. Totally believe anything is possible.